Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
Then they lose their audience. So,
but you got someone like someone like Joe Rogan is very popular. He's got literally more viewers than CNN has, and he's not
or Fox or anyone.
He's not a partisan guy. I mean, he's accused of being everything from a hardcore conservative Nazi to a liberal bedwetting Antifa guy. Yes. Because that's what everyone wants. They want one side or the other, and he's pretty in the middle, willing to listen through his amazing amounts of marijuana. but that goes to show you, like, that's the type of thing I think the media is really afraid of.
I like that Joe Rogan, like, one of the most endearing things about his show is he'll have some guy on who's like, yeah, I'm a doctor ostensibly, and I've eaten nothing but meat for 9 months and I feel wonderful. And Joe's like, wow, what a great idea. And then he'll have like
out there in a loincloth with a bow and arrow shooting an elk.
Yes. And then he'll be like, all right, this week we have Dr. Rhonda Patrick, one of my favorite guests on that show. She's really fucking smart, knows all this nutrition shit. And he'll be like, I was talking to someone about eating all meat, and she'll be like, yeah, no, that's full on retarded. And he's like, really?
He went
Tell
with
me
it.
More about this.
Carnivore. My girlfriend went on the carnivore diet because Joe Rogan did the carnivore diet.
Did it make her more aggressive, Anthony? Did it make her more aggressive?
It did. She threatened to rape me. It was a threat.
So I gave her the handcuffs.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about Joe Rogan is he will humor anything that slides across his desk.
He's a very open-minded guy, and like I love it. I love that he can sit and talk with anyone. He's very likable. I saw one of his live shows at Madison Square Garden, and first of all, more girls than I've ever seen at a comedy show. Like, he attracts the girls like no one else that's doing a comedy. Usually, girls hate comics, but he attracts
like Jimmy.
No, not like Norton, Jesus Christ. And he gets to a point where he's able to turn things around and actually tell jokes that could be perceived as misogynistic. But the beginning of his act is pretty much all about bashing masculinity and meanwhile he's up there like a pit bull. But then he's able
to fucking HGH skull.
Yeah. But then if any girls like moan or groan in the audience, he goes, "What the hell were you listening to the first half of my act?" Like I totally. So he's one of those guys that's clever enough to figure out. Bill Burr is another one of those guys. Bill Burr able to do some material that is he should be exiled from Earth for some of his material based on the criteria we have today. But he can go out there. It's hilariously funny. But why is he given a pass? Thank God he is. When someone like Louis C.K. is totally crucified.
Yeah, I still haven't watched his new special.
It's fucking amazing. It's a great special. I love Louis' new special.
Is it because Louis C.K. is not as good looking as Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
yes.
Joe Rogan looks muscly. Chicks do. They look at him and say like, "Oh yeah, I'd probably want to fuck him." I mean, you know, if he did pull his dick out, yeah, I'd watch. But Louis C.K., they're like, "Oh no, He's got to pay for this."
Oh no, he's gross. Yeah.
So when he made someone see his dick, they agreed to it. Doesn't matter.
We were doing Rogan's show about a year ago or so, and my own girlfriend has to cuck me. She's like, because his studio is amazing. It's got a gym. It's got this archery range, video games, everything you could want. And like my girlfriend and even Keith's wife was out there at the same time. They look at Joe and they're just swooning. And I'm this, piece of shit. And then she goes to the gym and she's like, because she's a trainer. So she's like, am I doing this right, Joe? Oh, stop. What am I supposed to? What am I, prepping the bull? Am I on cleanup duty afterwards? What do I do?
Yeah, you have to eat his load out of her pussy.
It's so embarrassing. The girls love him.
I like when Joe Rogan's like near the end of a podcast or whatever, and he's just like, "Hey, you want to stick around and throw axes at chop down trees?"
Yeah.
And
let's
people are
cut
like,
some heads off of wolves.
Do you have a place near here? And he's like, "No, it's just kind of like it's in the other room."
Well, yeah, the X-wing next door, you know.
Yeah, he's an alpha male,
Got
man.
to see my hatchet collection.
He's the
You want to
righteous
see my
dude.
hatchet collection?
I do enjoy the Joe Rogan, man. He's a good shit.
Yeah, he's a good interviewer too. He does a pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah, he
job.
really is, man. He could talk to anybody. And the thing is, he relaxes everybody. He got Elon Musk to smoke pot on the show, which, by the way, tanked the stock for a day. I bought it. I bought an option. I bought some options when that happened, and then the next day I punched out of him and made a fucking lot of money.
Good for you.
I call that, and that's also I did the same thing with the pizza guy.
Papa John's dude.
Papa
John.
Papa John when he dropped the N bomb.
Yeah.
And the stock went down. I'm like, it didn't change the pizza.
Right.
Like it's still the pizza that people are still going to order. They're not going to be, oh, he's racist. If you like Papa John's, you're going to order it. So I go, I'm gonna again buy options after it tanked, and I did it. And then I gave a seminar on it on my show, and I called it N-vesting.
Oh, Jesus.
So if anyone drops the N-bomb, like a CEO of a company or anything, whenever they drop the N-bomb, I will invest in that company, knowing it will go up afterwards.
That's hilarious. Have you seen the you've all seen the funny Papa John interview, but there's like a funny mashup because it was only a couple weeks before the Corona thing took off that he was like, there will be a reckoning. There will be a reckoning. And it's like him edited saying those things. It was a sweaty, I've eaten 40
Papa
pizzas
John
this month face. And it's just like him saying that, and then like all the Corona things like popping up,
caused
and all
it.
the deaths, and yeah, it was
Papa
all
John.
because of Papa fucking John.
There's a reckoning.
That guy. Yeah,
Oh
there will be a reckoning. And you will
He
see.
turned into a wet-faced Clint Eastwood there for about 5 minutes. It's fucking great. Hey, why was he so shiny?
I don't know, because he said he had 40 pizzas in the last 30 days.
He
That makes me
tasted 40 pizzas.
He looked like
okay,
he
have
used
you ever
bone
had in
broth.
30 days? Have you ever had 40 pieces?
God,
of pizza?
no, that's outrageous.
Oh.
But you know, it was his former company, and he's doing some research. 40 seems a little high, like maybe a taste test every week or something, you know. But,
Yeah.
but that's not why he was so wet. He looked like he had like lathered up with grease or something.
That was hand sanitizer. He knew of the reckoning.
Oh, he was prepping. I don't know why he was so shiny. I showed that to someone literally 2 days ago. I was like, look how shiny he is.
I feel like you didn't grow up with Italians. They're shiny people. They're shiny.
Italians can be very shiny people.
Yeah, God, it's like,
Yeah, if you grew up in
Little
Jersey
Earl.
and half your high school looked like that guy, you'd be like, yeah, he's one of the shiny
They're dabbing
ones.
with like those blue mechanic paper towels. Yeah, I love
He needed a
Papa
little
John.
powder before they turned the camera and the lights on. I feel like whoever was shooting that really fucked him over, because you know they were like, Papa is very shiny. It's absurd. Should we do something? Fuck no.
no.
Roll on this.
That was
we
what they
just-
did with
should
the
we talk him?
Kennedy-Nixon debate back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the
yeah.
first presidential debate on television. The Kennedy people had it figured out. They knew, like, this isn't audio anymore. People are seeing you. So they had JFK all nice and prim and proper. And Nixon was just profusely sweating, greasy, shiny.
Pockmark.
And they say that's what turned the tide.
Everything
As
he
you
had
say is
makeup
true, but also Kennedy's one of the best looking presidents we've ever had.
Oh yeah,
it's just
yeah.
gonna-
You're not going to
Very
beat
cute.
Kennedy, like
He's
even
the
on a
best-looking
bad
president.
HD day.
I mean, that's the debate where everyone who listened on the radio was like, "Oh, Nixon trounced him," and everyone who watched on TV was like,
Yeah.
oh, Nixon got absolutely dominated
Yeah.
in that one."
And they haven't forgotten that up till this day, as far as the visual medium goes.
Yeah. Well, what was the one? Who was the guy in the late '80s or whatever who wore like the ill-fitting army hat in the tank and looked like a
that was
fucking
Dukakis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dukakis, where like they say that's the
Dukakis.
photo that sent him down.
He was in a tank and he had a helmet on with a chin strap, and it just bad.
Yeah, he looked like a bobblehead doll. He had one of those big helmets on. Yeah. And his head was going, and it said like Dukakis across the front. And I think it was it Bush, or I think Bush at the time was running against them. And they actually had that in a Bush ad and said, "Is this the man you want leading the military?" And he just in a tank with his head going. It lost it was as good as as far as
We're going to North Dakota.
There was a similar one. George W. Bush was running against John Kerry. And John Kerry visited, it might have been Intel or something, but he had to wear, I think it's called a bunny suit, right? So the whole thing is like dust proof, and all that showed was his face, right? It had like a cloth helmet. And the W people.
He was crawling through like a tube.
Yeah.
And he was coming out of it, and he's smiling, and he just looked like a blithering idiot.
Yeah. So they showed this
you
picture again and again and again, right? Him in this silly bunny suit. The picture I'm showing, it didn't really have ears. But anyway, and then they showed this again and again, and they asked the W people, like, why are you running this picture? And they were like, we just like it a lot. It's like, all right, I see, I get it.
There are those moments that instantly trash a presidential. Look at that. What is he doing?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, he looks terrible. He looks like the front of the human centipede.
How do you play Twister during the coronavirus? He looks pathetic.
He does.
No one's going to look good in that.
Position.
None of us would look good in that outfit.
And
or
do you
position.
think your people would say, no, don't do that?
Right.
You're running, but you're going to look like an idiot.
I wonder if his people were too subservient, right? Maybe he doesn't hire a
yes
man.
men. The last thing you need as a presidential candidate are yes men.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have someone that'll go, you know all these other people that blew it during the election? That's going to be you if you do this.
Yeah.
See. All right, but what if Trump had one of those guys? Like, whoa, Mr. Trump, this isn't going to work.
He had.
He only has those guys.
He ignored them all, though.
But then he says
He doesn't have any of those guys. It's the complete opposite, Dick. If you disagree with Trump, you get fired. Now he only has yes men left.
Or wait. What if he did have a whole team and we saw the soft version of Trump?
What if he didn't do all
we're
the
gonna
stuff?
need a big burning cross right here in the state. So let people know. Let them know down here in South Carolina how we roll.
No, you know
Mr.
what?
President.
I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say that this coronavirus is retarded.
Oh my God.
And if we ever been dominated by a retard, I don't think so. We're going to keep it going.
Jesus Christ.
It's just, maybe we're not seeing all the really bad stuff.
I want to change the American flag to that thing they love in the South. We've got to win Florida. With the
I've
stars and
checked.
bars.
You can fit all the stars on
I
that.
love it.
It's on the top of the Dukes of Hazzard car. People love that shit.
He wants the presidential limo to be the Dukes of Hazzard car.
I want to come jumping over the Lincoln Monument.
Oh, these people calling racist. Lots of dumb people, lots of idiots saying this. I just like the car. I think the movie's fantastic.
I like the car. What's the matter with the car?
Yeah.
It's
Hood
orange.
sliding like Bo Duke.
Dude, his giant ass hood sliding and dents left behind.
It leaves a dent across the hood like a comet just hit Earth.
A full fucking dent with scrapes. He's got like paint on his ass when he gets off it. Yeah, he easily has the largest ass of any president in the last century.
He's a
You gotta go
doughy
back to-
guy.
you gotta go
Maybe
back to
Taft.
Yeah.
I was
Right.
gonna, yes, Taft had a big doughy ass.
I ended on that note. I love the wordplay. Very nice.
I've ever heard.